Joining us now, Fox News contributor, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, NRA TV contributor Dan Bongino. Governor, I want to just get the big picture from you. On the one hand, I'll even scroll the accomplishments of the president because he mentioned them today. But as you see them, it is never reported. Not sometimes, not only once in a while, never. Denuclearization. Putin pulled his ships out of Syria. Looks like he's capitulating. China, intellectual property, all of these accomplishments. Not a single word, Governor. And it's always Russia and Stormy and whatever other bizarre thing this investigation has evolved into.
When I was listening to your monologue, the one thing that really struck me was that there is a consistency. James Comey has been incredibly inconsistent. The media has been inconsistent, as have politicians about Comey, but there's one consistency. They all universally cannot stand President Donald Trump. And that's the one thing that holds true. They thought James Comey was the worst person imaginable. Now that he's written this incredible fiction where he's basically breaking his arm, patting himself on the back, you'd think he was the next Mother Teresa. Now, what changed? Changed was that James Comey now is turned on Donald Trump, and that has the media all in just a complete froth because they're excited about that. But no, they're never going to tell the things that you just outlined in terms of the accomplishment because it defies their narrative that he's not a capable and competent president. But the record shows that he is. You
know, Dan Bongino, you look at what this evolved into. They didn't find any. We're here because they didn't find any evidence of collusion. I'm pretty sure we would have known about it by now because they kind of leak everything. Not a little bit. Pretty much everything gets leaked out. So now it's actually moved into Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal and the Access Hollywood tape and worse. And raiding the home of the president's personal attorney to find those issues, not about Russia. At some point, I'm wondering, where is the left in this country? Where are the civil libertarians in this country?
They're gone, Sean. Sean, the media is terrified because they realize Bob Mueller's in deep trouble. Public approval of his investigation is collapsing. People are starting to realize that this is a witch hunt. There was no Russian collusion. There never will be Russian collusion. Trump's not afraid of Russian collusion because there was none. But, Sean, Mueller is deeply conflicted. And what those CNN hacks won't tell you as they attack you is because they don't do investigative journalism. They do propaganda.
By the way, I want residuals. They ran my tape so much today, I want them to pay me. Jeff Zucker needs to pay
I'm
me.
appearing on tonight's show. Do I get some of those residuals too? So I'll take. No, but
I mean,
Sean,
it's like a rerun of
conflicted.
Hannity. I'm like, if you want my show, you should have bid for it. But you know.
They're investigated. Here's the crime. The crime is that Trump was spied on without the evidence to do it. You know who vetted that information in the Department of Justice? Bob Mueller's old chief of staff, John Carlin. By the way, you know who's representing Susan Rice as her attorney right now, Sean? In this, when they reached out to her to explain that, Catherine Rumler. You know who Catherine Rumler was? Barack Obama's general counsel.
Unbelievable.
Who also who worked for Andrew Weissman in the Enron case and is friendly with Bob Mueller. Tell me there's no conflict there, CNN. Do your homework.
Great point. Let me ask Governor Huckabee, what would you advise the president at this point? There's two schools of thought, that he fights back or that the president lets his attorneys handle it.
I think let the attorneys handle it. When he's at the podium and when he's at the microphone, he needs to focus on the accomplishments of his administration, and there are many. He's got a great story to tell, and he's the best one to tell it.
You agree with that, Dan, real quick?
Yeah, he's got a story to tell. You're darn right. Those tax cuts alone in the economy are going to be those bread and butter issues. Going to ride him to re-election.
It's unbelievable. The biggest abuse of power scandal in the country's history. Now, when we come back, fake news CNN embarrassingly giddy over the new report that Trump asked Comey to investigate allegations